Hey, how's it going? Hey, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, go have fun seeing Simple Plan. Hope that's a good concert. But yeah, thanks for stopping in. Good to see you. All right. Well, hey, everybody. My name's Cody. Currently working on a game called Chronicles of Virtue. It's a tactical RPG where you play as Arya doing the chicken dance here. In a world that's just been introduced to magic. Today we're going to be working on finishing up a little bit. Yeah, I bet it'll be good. So that'll be good. Is it part of a festival or is it just a standalone thing? But today I'll be working on a couple changes here on the menu. Cleaning up that bottom over there, making sure everything's populating okay. Hey, appreciate that. Very good. First, congratulations. But yeah, I have implemented this pretty well. I have lots of equipment that I'm starting to populate in spreadsheets. Oh man. So, making some good progress. All right, I do want to see, I'm actually not sure why that's populating that way. We'll fix that, and then after that, may make some more weapons. I think I've got my import scripts handled. I might start working on enemy AI once we get this cleaned up. Obviously, there's some cleanup here that's required. Sorry, one moment. All right, so let's see. So first I'm gonna fix this. I'm not sure what's going on over here with this menu. So let's take a look. I imagine this can't be too hard to fix, so I'm hoping it takes all of a few seconds. I do have this populated referencing off the bottom of the screen. Let's see. Looking at layout. Okay, there's my anchor offsets. It's going to grow from the bottom, which is, I think, the right thing, but it really needs to maybe expand. Maybe that's the key. So I need the container to expand to fit the content. I think that probably does it. And I'll probably do a little cleanup here too, I think. And let's test this out. Probably do a little cleanup here too to make it a little more organized and come across a little better. It's okay right now. It's not terrible the way it looks, but it's definitely not great. All right, let's see. Cool. It expanded now. That fixed that. And now I have all of these options where you can come and kind of design your character with equipment, titles, which is pretty cool. Right now the equipment's not very interesting, so that's one thing that I will be building is like an equipment builder that lets me build equipment quickly. I have an Excel sheet that I can do this in. Like all of these were built in an Excel sheet, which works. I also want you to be able to cycle through when you're in this menu. Probably hit L and R trigger and cycle through the different weapon types, so I'm not like sorting through all the weapon types. And then I need to build some more armor and things too, and some accessories. But you know, it's coming along here. So with that, okay. So first I'm gonna clean this up and make this look a little bit better. So the things I don't like about this, I don't like that the ends shouldn't really have the lines, and everything needs to be kind of lined up in a grid. I think that's pretty easy just by, this is all built via script, but I think I can force, sizes, and I made like this luck, for example. I think I'm just gonna get rid of luck. I don't know that I really need luck. I don't think I use it anywhere in any equations. So, might just get rid of it from here, or just have it like a hidden stat if I do end up using it places. So let's start with that. Let's remove luck first off. That's actually pretty easy to do. Just need to go to character stats, to the basics here, and comment out luck. It's still there. It actually still could be used even in equations. It's just not going to show up. So it'd be a hidden stat if you do end up using it. Let me do the same thing for the weapons. Though the weapons will only show up if it existed like a stat on a weapon. But fewer stats are probably good because I do have a lot of stats. Okay. That clears that out. And let me see if I can get this looking a little bit better here. So the first thing I want to do is create a standard set of spacers. And what I probably can do is use V separators. So basically when I first go to populate this grid, I think what I can do is use V separators and populate the grid with some basics. Let's see. So let's start here. Where do I first populate the grid? Right here. Okay, is that the first time populate it? Yeah. So basically before I do that, I'm going to populate the grid, but I'll just let's see, I'll just add a new function that is add spacers. Grid name. I think that's all I need. It's gonna be very similar to this, except they're all gonna be separators. And all this is for is to give spacing to the grid. So I've got V separators. And then I will add this. I do need to set the size of the V separator, so I can check that by if I add one. Probably minimum size. Yeah. So I'll set these to, there's 12 in here. What's the width right now of this? 399, really? Okay, that's smaller than I thought. 399. Let's start by setting them all the same. This will probably be something I have to tweak as I move along. So let's pull up the calculator. 400 divided by 12. Okay. 33.3. So I could do like size 30. Give myself a little bit of room. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's not bad. So let's look at the script. All right. A couple things first. I want for all of them. Oh, is it just on the equipment right now first? Okay. For all of them, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to make sure to set the style box like this. And then I'm going to set ads. Orbum, you got ads? I thought you were, oh, well, sorry. Maybe I need to change my ad settings and figure out how to minimize ads. Let's see. That's all right. I'll figure that out next time. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So that's going to turn all of those lines that you have off. And then I want to set the minimum size. So custom minimum size. I want the property path equals, it's going to be a vector 2. And then I'm going to have it be 30, 0. So label node 1 dot custom minimum size set. Okay, I think that's fine. I think if I just do this, that should work. Need to copy that 4 times. All right, let me see about these ads real quick. Monetization ads. Oh, there's a new ad manager. How many minutes of video ads do you want per hour? 0. How do I do 0? I put it on low. Pre-roll. I do have pre-roll ads disabled. Okay. Man, I can't turn off ads anymore, I don't think, with the new ad manager. I do have them on low, though, so maybe that helps. Should be like 30 seconds per hour. Wait. Automatically snooze ads. Sure. Sure. Cool. All right. And I turned on some ad notifications as well. That's pretty cool. All right. We will see what happens there. Hopefully that keeps them away. All right. Anyway. Okay, let's see. So, where are we at? They should add spacers. So what I'm going to do then is I'll just, before I populate the grid, I'll add spacers for weapon stats. Okay. For each of the different types of weapons. All right, let's see what that looks like. All right. So let's see, here we go. Oh, it broke. Okay, so it didn't like this. Label node 1, it had a null value, really. Okay, let me minimize this so you can see. Okay, so label 1 node, it said had a null value. No. Grid collector.get node grid name had a null value. Why is that? Let's look at the remote tree up in the top left here. Okay. I think that's the table, right? Yeah, I think that's strange. Oh, you know, well. Okay, let's look at this for a second because I'm obviously very confused. Okay, that's under weapon stats, not item list. I actually didn't see that. Let me try that again. Am I clearing? I should only be clearing stuff from weapon stats. Huh. Interesting. Hey, thanks, Orbum. I appreciate you coming back. It really means a lot to me that you'll put up with ads. You'll be happy to know I did change my ads to 30 seconds. There's a new ad manager. My intention was for the ads to be as low as possible, if not turned off, but I don't think with the new ad manager I can see how to turn them off, but it set them to 30 seconds, so hope that's better. Okay, so here's what it doesn't like. It doesn't like that I'm adding calling. Okay, so I'm adding and essentially this it thinks is a null value, so it's not seeing this grid name, which I could be. Let's look here to see if let's look here. I'm not deleting it, right? It actually added the v separators here, so that looks good. It's just on weapon stat 3. Did I spell weapon stat 3 wrong? I did not spell weapon stat 3 wrong. Yeah, I'm making a few changes here. I'm just trying to clean it up some. I've got the I took a sidetrack and did some animations and things, and added a bunch of equipment, automated a lot of stuff. So now I can add weapons and armor and stuff in a much more automated way, which I had for like spells and titles already. And I think I have this looking decent. Like, it doesn't look good yet, but it looks good enough for like a demo. Except for some reason, yeah, I don't know why specifically weapon stats. Oh, it's because stats instead of stat. That'll do it. When you don't pluralize your variables, you run into problems. Okay, so this should work. What I'm trying to do here is space things out. So I'm using this V spacer to kind of make it look even, because right now they just generate however long the text is how big the field is. And so I'm trying to fix that. But yeah, and I did add, here you go. So I added breakdancing, which you saw. Last stream we added at In's request, we added the Macarena. Very, very necessary. You have to have all the emotes, right? So that's pretty good. And then I've got the chicken dance. So pretty good. She does cut herself in half regularly doing the chicken dance. So you got to be careful. Okay. Yes. So you see how that looks much better? It's not perfect, but it's not changed. Like if you look on the right side, see how they all change sizes? I'm trying to make them not change sizes. I don't know why I use the same. Very interesting. Okay, so here's you could try that and see what happens. I might get more views. Something kind of interesting. Okay. Here's the problem. I only did 4, right? Which offset everything by 4, but I didn't do all 12. Okay, that's easy enough. I just need to copy this 3 times or 4. You know what? This is a stupid way to do it. Is it a stupid way to do it? Yeah, I shouldn't hard code this. I should make a for loop. For I in range 0 to 12. Yeah, unless I have to, well, even if I have to do different sizes, I can figure that out. Yeah, this is going to be much better. So then what I would do is, actually this works, honestly. I think this works as is. All right, Orbum. Over under. What's the chance first try this code works? I'm feeling like 85% confidence in it. It's simple, but you know, sometimes simplicity can be very deceiving. Oh, we also got a new emote. Check this out. Here you go. That's a pretty good emote. There we go. Moment of truth. All right. So it mostly worked. Okay, so let's look at the raw data. It did mostly work. It did create 12 separators, which is what I wanted. The sizes aren't exactly what I need. So you can see here, because I'm just setting the minimum size. So whenever you have something long like this, whenever you kind of stack them, it will expand. This looks mostly good. Maybe I want some buffer at the front. Maybe that's my problem. I'm not sure why this goes all the way to the edge and this one has the buffer. Oh, it's just because it's centered. And this one is centered, but it's going all the way to the end and it's pushing it off, right? So it's expanding left, the menu is. So what I could probably do is either make these shorter, which I will. What I'll probably do is have like a damage section and a resistance section, right? And then just use icons instead of all of that. But without that, I may be able to alternate, and every time it has like one of these numbers, I could probably make them a smaller, but I have some 3-digit numbers in places. Huh. Okay, I just have to play around with some of the sizes, I think, and I think that's pretty good. Definitely not bad, though. So if I copy that code here over to my other side, over here, basically I should be able to just copy it. Oh, I haven't defined style box. I have defined style box. What are you talking about? It's right here. Oh, it's because it needs to be outside of this function. I didn't realize I was in that function for some reason. There we go. We have defined style box outside of that function. So now this should work pretty well, and they'll both sides will look the same, I think. I may go ahead and go 40. It's not going to look as good, but it'll keep them a little more even. Okay, let's see. Oh, I do need to do this. Add spacers. Grid name. Add spacers and then grid container. Grid container 2. And grid container 3. I should probably name those something better, but that's okay. Yeah, it's a pretty good emote. I need more. I should get some of the good animations. It was actually pretty easy to make. Like, there are so many background remover tools online now. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. It's not quite there. Always kind of living in your shadow, but that's all right. That's all right. Okay, it's doing the thing again. Over here, right? You see how this is cut off? I feel like there's a 50-50 chance of whether it populates or not. So I need to fix that as well. But otherwise, it looks okay. Let me go ahead and expand it to 50. Again, I'm just trying to do something simple where it looks consistent. And then, yeah, I definitely need some padding. And I probably will just go ahead and add some padding to the grid container. There may be a padding option, but without that, that's okay. It may be even part of the theme. I could probably add padding. There is H separation, which I probably could use, but for now, it's okay. For now, I'm just trying to get it there. And then I do want to see what's going on with this and why it's doing that. It should, I've got it set to expand vertically. So it should expand to fill Oh, you know what? I have clip contents on. I don't know why it's been non-deterministic though. It's like sometimes I would go in there and it would be on. There must be things racing it. Maybe they don't populate all the way, and then it sets its dimensions, and then they populate the rest of the way, and then it clips them off. That's kind of my best guess. But yeah, and then yeah, I'll go add padding. It's not quite, you know, HTML or CSS padding, but okay, that's ugly. Okay. Well. Yeah, 50 is way bad. All right, let's drop this back down. Maybe I did want clip contents. Okay. Let's go back to here. I may just have to be dynamic with it too. Right now I'm being very much, hey, everything is 40, right? Or everything is 30. So I may want to be a little more dynamic with it, and that might help. Where I can kind of set, hey, if eyes 1, be 30, if eyes 2, be 40. I think that's all I'd have to do. It'd be pretty easy, yeah, and I can set up padding. Padding, I may be able to just use that H separator. I'm just trying to get them to be consistent sizes for now, which I may just have to reduce the size of my text. Okay, that looks pretty decent. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it looks decent. And the right side looks the same for the most part. Okay, yeah, like down here, for example, like where I have fire, I could just have a little fire ball. I don't need to spell that all out, and that would probably help. I could probably put DMG and RES here and put the little icons. Like I could have a little water droplet and say DMG. That probably helps a lot. But overall, for now, I think this is mostly okay. Huh, it's interesting. I probably need to turn expand on this because they should come out to the edge. So what is that on the horizontal expand? Yeah. Panel container, same thing. Oh, it already is fill. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. All right, so now let me mess with the separators here. I think this will act as kind of as padding. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell without objects. So let me go ahead and put a couple just labels in there. Oops. So I can see what's going on. We'll just kind of say some things. Let me duplicate it. All right, now let me add in this H. See if it. Okay, that only affects internal H separation. It does not impact padding from the edge, unfortunately. Let's see if I can modify a theme. I really haven't messed with themes at all, but let's see if we can do this. All right. Oh shoot, I added it to the wrong scene. Sorry, one moment. You can't see my my window here. Okay, there you go. Oh shoot, I hit that. Okay, manage items. Here, I'll move it to the middle here. Let's see, so let's add type, and this is going to be a grid container. Okay, let's import actually, grid container. Import. Yeah, it's all it has is H separation and V separation. There's no padding options, which is fine. I can probably pad because I'm in a grid collector. So what I probably can do is put an H box in there and pad it that way. Yeah, let's do that. So essentially I'll add a H box container. That's gonna go here. Okay, do I have any hard-coded? I do have hard-coded things, unfortunately. Oh, you know what I can do though? Man, I shouldn't hard code those, and that would fix that actually. So that's probably a better thing to do is define these as variables and don't hard code them anymore. Okay, one thing I do have to do though is, oops. This HBox container really should be, well, you know what I can do? I can probably just say, okay, so padding container. And then I will, oh, actually, let me check. This might have, the VBox container may have padding as well. I don't think so. No, it does not. Which is fine. Okay, so what we'll do then is I will add this to there. And man, you know what I'll do? I'll just find replace. I'm gonna find grid collector. And I'm gonna replace with padding container dot get node grid collector. Okay. There we go. Then what I can do is I can add a V separator here and duplicate it. All right. And then I can do a couple things here. First off, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go feed a child. Here, let me get this going here. I'm gonna grab a water as well. It's gonna be like 5 minutes. And I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll catch you soon, Orbum. Thanks for popping in. Have a good stream. Do that for you. All right, I'll be right back. I'm back. Very good. All right, so let's see. I'm just making some adjustments here. Okay, it looks so bad. Oh, it's because I still have the say some things in there. Let's get rid of that for sure. Which is actually kind of weird, because it really should clear before it starts. Huh. That's all right. Okay, first things actually here. Let's go ahead and clear these. Essentially, I'm just going to create empty separators here. And I'm going to give them a minimum size of like 20. Oh, not there. We'll start with like 20 pixels. See what that looks like. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Then the question is, do I want, see how they pull, I wonder if I want these separators just for the grids, and I want to leave the labels outside of that. I don't think so. I think it'd make it really complicated. And I think it's fine. Yeah, I think I do want to do that. It does make it a lot more complicated. But I think I do want to do that. So basically I would do this. Duplicate that twice. Something like this. Okay, I think that's what I want to do. Oh, okay, that's fine. That definitely makes this more complicated. So I got grid collector dot. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I am going to define variable names for these. So I'll do export variable, and it'll be a grid. So we'll say weapon grid. It'll be a node. And then I'll do export variable armor grid node. Oh wait, these are stats. So we'll do basic grid, damage grid, export variable affinity grid node. Okay. Then what I can do is I can go here and just drag these here, here, and here. And then I can go down. So then I can just add spacers instead of calling out grid container here. I just say basic grid. Okay. Instead of that, I say damage grid. Damage grid. And then instead of this, I say affinity grid. Cool. All right. And then I can get rid of this. And I just say grid name dot add child. Cool, cool. Same here, just grid name.addChild. I think that's all I have to do. That was way easier than everything else I was trying to do. Oh, shoot. What is this? Okay, so grid collector. What's all? Huh. Okay, so that goes to grid collector dot. All right. Well, let's do this then. I thought I was there. Basic grid. Damage grid. Affinity grid. And then this just needs to be grid name. One second, I'm turning my music back on. It's quiet. Maybe it's just the song. Okay. Grid name. Same thing here. Grid name. Grid name. All right. That looks a lot better. We'll see if that works better. I think it will. Didn't like that. Grid name.addChild. Okay. Oh, I missed that as well. Affinity grid. Okay, well that would be why. All right, that should be fixed. All right, very good. So now there is padding. The padding does look good. I do need to get rid of the line on the last one of those, which I thought I already had code for that. I do on the right. You can see on the right, there's no line here. And it is here. That's easy to get rid of that. But yeah, that's looking pretty decent. I'm kind of thinking I probably need... Do I need dynamic sizing there? I probably just need to reduce the size of all these. And then I can reduce the size of the overall thing there. Okay. So let's do a couple things there. First off, I have to rebuild this thing I just built in here on the weapon side. Here. But it really won't be that hard. First off, let's copy the... I probably just need this. Okay, first off, actually. Okay, first off, let's grab... this. And then on equipment stats, I can assign these. Okay, next off, let's go ahead and build this out. So I need I have the horizontal grid. I need some vertical V boxes. No, H boxes. Wait, are they V boxes? No, they're H boxes. They're H boxes. I already have V boxes. Okay, so we'll just build out some H box containers, duplicate those throughout. And then what I'll do is I'll add those in here. So I'll do label, H box container. Actually, let me build up those H box containers first and duplicate them with everything they need inside to save some button clicks. So add child there, and I'm going to add a V separator just to build up the padding, and then I can duplicate that twice. And then I will add this here, add this one here, and then I just have to add these in here. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so then what I need to do, now that I have that and I have these mapped, now I have to go build out this script. Oh, I do need to, actually let me take one of these, paste that in there, and use that as my separator everywhere. So that's kind of unfortunate, because all the efficiency gains I just had went away. That's okay. I think I can actually copy these. Let's go ahead and clear out these separators first. And there you go, not too bad. Okay, now I already have those defined. So now, let's go grab those if statements. They're there. All right, this is gonna be fun. Everywhere I have grid collector, I have to replace them with these variables. So, basic grid, damage grid, affinity grid, basic grid, basic grid. All right, it's gonna take a second, so I'm gonna turn up the music a little bit. Give me one moment. Or I'll happily take some questions. Okay. That really wasn't too bad. That was actually not nearly as bad as I thought it'd be. Okay, I think that does it. Let's find out. Hey, BWAG35, how's it going? Hope you're having a good night. We are finishing cleaning up the equipment selector. That's going pretty well. Okay, let's see. Yeah, much more consistent. Okay, so I think that's starting to look pretty good. I need to, okay, so here's what I need to do now is I need to reduce the length of these guys. So I'll just do like fire DMG for now and fire RES for now. And probably change this to like magic AF. Actually, I don't know if these are, yeah, these are clipping. Okay, these are past the clip. I think the only ones that aren't are these top ones. Let's check real quick. I'm just gonna check on here and I'm gonna go review them and see actually how close they are to clipping. What I can do is just go look at these and see what their actual sizes are. Okay, well. Most of them are actually pretty big. No. Limited by... No, it's pretty good, honestly. Like, I have not done any optimization in making it look good yet at all, right? And, like, it's looking pretty good. So, like, you'll need to go create themes and things. I have not done so, so it's just kind of basic right here, right? But you can go create themes and make them as complicated as you want. But no, honestly, they're not too bad at all. And you can, I mean, you could code whatever you want to code, right? But even the built-in UI is really decent. I am thinking that I am severely underestimating the size of these pads. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the first one is in the hundreds, and the last 3 are 30. What I may do is make the first one 150. All right, let's do this. So what I should do here then is when I first add my spacers, if I mod one, it can't be 1. 4, I could do I plus 3. So I was gonna start at 0, I plus 4. Mod 4 equals 0. What I can do is custom minimum size is 150. I do think this is going to be too big, but we'll try it. Essentially, if it's divisible by 4 when I add 4 to it, make it 150. Otherwise, make it 30. I wonder if I can... Well, actually, you know what? What I maybe should do is turn clipping on. No, it's okay. It's fine. Let's let's look at this. I should be able to predict how big things are going to be. But no, it's pretty good, and it grows. It's you can make it dynamic as you need to, right? So you can make a pretty dynamic interface. Like in my fights, right? In battle, I've got the bars. You have the progress bars and everything. But it's pretty good. So let's see. Yeah, so that doesn't look too... Actually, I think I might have only done it on this side. Okay, let me see if I can get these updated. Yeah, GDScript was pretty intuitive. I would say I really don't know complex languages, right? I know Python decently. I actually use a lot of Visual Basic. And then I know some coding languages like DXL, which is Doors Extensible Language. It's a a specific language for a program called Doors. I know VTL, which is velocity, which is used for templates, and a program called Cameo. Remember, my background's systems engineering. It's a lot of system engineering scripting tools, and it's pretty intuitive from like Python, right? Like if you know Python, you'll be able to pick up GDScript pretty quickly. But no, yeah, I don't know like very complex languages. I mean, I've done some coding in like C++. I've done some coding in like C#, but not a lot. So yeah, if you know like Python, I think that's pretty intuitive to just start picking things up. I mean, of course, with everything, just takes a little time to learn the intricacies of it and what like the differences are, but it's really not. It's really pretty intuitive and pretty good. I'm gonna set that at something ridiculous like 200 for now. That way I can see what everything looks like and make sure I'm making the right modifications. But I do get it, like learning it. So I think some people think like learning GDScript, like they're of the opinion like, oh, it doesn't make sense to do because like I could be spending my time learning Python, or I could be spending my time learning C#, right? And it's valid. And you can learn C# and Godot because you can use C# and Godot. It is a valid critique, I guess, if you're like trying to use this to learn. But at the same time, the hardest thing about programming is not the syntax. The hardest thing about programming is the logic, right? The hardest thing about programming is the problem solving, critical thinking. The syntax, every programming language has its own syntax, but if you've learned one and that one is not Rust, then you're good to go. Now Rust, from what I hear, is kind of its own type of thing, but other than that, cool. That does space it out. That's not what I want, and I don't know why its top isn't expanding to match this, but that's okay. That does, oh, you know what? Look at this. Why didn't these ones match? That's interesting. It's very interesting. This one's didn't match on this side exactly either. They matched the first time, and they get off, which is weird. Let's go investigate. Okay, I'm gonna investigate by looking at, okay, there should be 200, 30, 30, 30, 200. Oh, it only went to 150? Whoa, why is that 150? Unless I didn't I updated my code to 200. 120? Weird. Very cool. I would say mess around with MATLAB, right? If you want to do things with math or graphing, even machine learning. One of my projects in college was doing the like traveling salesman thing problem, you know, where you're a traveling salesman. You have to go to these cities. Here's the routes they can get. So essentially it's a neural network, right? You have a bunch of nodes. You have to figure out the fastest way to get from one node to another. Did it all in MATLAB. And then one of my other projects in MATLAB was we modeled a Boeing 747, went in and got all of the different parameters of a Boeing 747 and built a simulation essentially in MATLAB. MATLAB's pretty powerful. You'll use it everywhere. Like every company who is in engineering uses MATLAB for control systems, right? I think MATLAB's I don't know if it's free. I imagine they have student editions that are probably free. So you'll have to check on that. But it's worth messing around. And what kind of projects could you do? You could simulate something like that. I don't know how interested you are in like engineering to the point where you would go be researching, hey, what's the coefficient of drag on this wing? What should I use as the area, right? But if you are, like, you could go simulate a plane of some kind or something, and you could even use that like in something visual, right? Like if you have a simulation, you could go call that in Python and say, hey, when I give it an input, I take the input. Yeah, you could definitely use Python with it. So you could say, hey, I give it an input, and then when I give it an input, go do this equation and give me what the outputs are, and then I could take those outputs. I bet there's a Python library that talks directly to MATLAB. MATLAB library. So if you just search using MATLAB with Python, there's actually an API for Python created by MathWorks. So you can absolutely do that. That should be pretty easy. It's actually built into MATLAB. So pretty good. We use Python everywhere, right? And we make MATLAB calls all the time to build charts and things. So that should be no issue. You'll get some very good experience doing that as well. Huh. Okay, so it only made the first one 200. After that, so 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, it didn't, which is really interesting. Okay, I'll do some prints here. I, comma, space, I plus 4, mod 4. Cool, yeah. So what you could do, if you were just wanting to mess around, is you could make some sort of simulation, like a bouncing ball or something, right? That could be basic kinematics. You can make a bouncing ball in MATLAB, and I think that's actually one of the example projects they do. You know what might be fun? You could probably link it to you were using Pygame at one point, right? You could probably link it to Pygame and make a game with a bouncing ball that uses MATLAB as your physics engine. I don't know how real time you can be with MATLAB, but you could do it where, like, hey, I hit the ball. It's gonna take, like, maybe what you could do is say, okay, based on this strength I hit the ball in, it calculate the ball bouncing, right? Or something along those lines. So yeah. Oh yeah, you could easily do just simple equations like that too, and that'll be fast in MATLAB actually. But if you do more complicated stuff like physics, and tracking that, like you have an algorithm that detects elastic equations and monitors the motion and the momentum and things, that'll be a little bit more resource intensive. Okay, let's see what's happening. So it's only modding 12, which is interesting. So I plus 4 starts as 4. 4 mod 4 should equal 0. 8 mod 4 should equal 0. What? I feel like, okay, it's late and I'm tired, but I'm gonna plug this into Google. I'm fairly confident that 5 mod 4 is 1. Okay, 8 mod 4 is 0. Yeah. Google's confirmed that when I is 5, or I guess I is 4, this should be 0. Do I need to add 4? Maybe that's the problem. Oh shoot, here's what's happening. Order operations. It's doing the division first here. I didn't have a parentheses. Wow, okay. I actually don't even think I need that. I think I can just do this divided by 4. So that would be 0, 0, 4, 8, and 12. Okay. Or 0, 4, and 8. Yes. Okay. Well, that was easy enough. PEMDAS. Gotta remember the PEMDAS. All right. Crazy. I wasn't even thinking. I was thinking for some reason, you don't really think of like a a modulo as a division, but it is obviously. All right. Very good. Okay. Yes. I mean, obviously it's ugly. Wow, this side is really ugly. What's that about? They're all huge. Okay, so they're all 200 on this side. This side looks good. I mean, it's too big, but it looks good as far as spacing goes. So let's go ahead and minimize that. Let's see first. Oh, that's why. Look at this. Man, I think I need some sleep. Okay. So let's see. I fixed that. Okay. They overlap for sure. Okay, so now what I want to do is start working on pulling that right side in. It doesn't actually need to be 200. I'm going to shorten. So first off, I'm gonna make this like I think I want it to be 150. Yeah, it does look super complex right now, and I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna make it look a lot less complex. What I'm trying to do right now is just get them where you can see them. I will for sure simplify a lot of it. So I'll have a lot of it have icons and things. I'll kind of walk through here in a second what my plan is there. But let me real quick switch these to like. Actually, you know what? I can probably just say to have the element. Oh, on these ones I do need res, at least. So you can know it's resistance versus damage. But yeah, there's a lot right now that I need to simplify. Essentially, I'm going to have icons for this. I'll have like different headings that says like, hey, these are your resistances. These are your damages, right? And then I'll have an icon that shows like the element type or the weapon. And that should make it a lot simpler. Because yeah, right now it's hard to read. There are a lot of stats. I do want to have quite a few stats. It's a tactics game, strategy game. You need to have quite a few options, I think, in my opinion. And I like how things play out. And these ones actually I can just have just the name of the weapon. Which I don't use bow. Do I have bow affinity down here? I don't actually use bows right now. I might use bows later. I'll leave them for now. Yeah, and I may be able to simplify. Like, I may make these like affinities more hidden stats where they exist, but maybe they're not as visible. And that would simplify things a lot too. But I am on the lookout to remove some stats, I think. I think I can just say magic EV. Okay. And then let me take this. Paste that in there. Okay. And then let me make sure that these are both 150 instead of 200 on my separators. Okay, 150 there. And 150 there. Cool. Let's see what that looks like. I think that's going to look pretty good. And that should make that a little cleaner to read. Yeah, I'm really going to have to pay a lot of attention to UI design here, I think. Because, like, Final Fantasy Tactics, I've played a lot, so I understand a lot of the stats. But there are a lot of stats in that game. And I get that they can be really complicated and really hard to manage. So I don't want to be in that same situation. Okay. That is better. And then so where it has damage and resistance, I think I'll split those up and have damage, resistance. They'll still be under like one heading here, right? But I'll have like one heading and then I'll have damage and I'll have resistance, which I could do now, I guess. And then within there, it'll just have the icons. And then down here, we'll just have the icons as well. So it'll probably take up a lot less room. And it'll just have the icon and then the number or a percentage. I'm not sure if I do percent or a number. Probably a percentage out of 100. So, and these will all probably be percentages as well. And that should make it a little easier. What happened over here? Why are my... Hold up. Left and right are different. You found a cheat code to boost productivity by 15%? Yes. You can be 70% more productive. That is what that means. Yeah, do it. As long as it's ethical. Sounds like a good deal. Okay, I gotta see what I'm missing over here. Attack. I'm missing number of attacks. Oh, you know why? That's because number of attacks aren't impacted by your class. I guess that's okay. Let's see, I didn't add it up. 15, 30, plus 80. Yep, it's 80. Very cool. Yeah, and I think once you learn the stats, it'll be fine. Right? This is pretty good, though. I probably have a little more room to pull things in a little more. Movement speed is the only one I see that's close. So let's take movement speed down. And I'm just going to change to movement. I don't think I need speed in there. I'll just say movement. And I'll say jump. And then in here, I'll have... Oh, I have movement and jump. On that one, I'll have movement and jump here. What's your hack you found? What cheat code did you find? If the answer is caffeine, then I think you're right. And if you're 80% more productive, does that mean you get 80% more things done in the same amount of time? Or do you baseline 80% productive from a 100% productive? So anyway, there's probably some figuring out to do on how that translates. Okay, I think it looks good. Let me change this down to like 125. I'll just do 125 is fine. Cool. All right. Okay, that is looking a lot better. Much easier to read. I wonder if I can get down to 100. I still have some padding. Oh. Sorry about that. I knocked my pop filter off. I definitely did my pop filter though. I listened back to see how this go on there. I was recording a short actually, and I was listening to it without a pop filter, and it was terrible. All right. Sorry about that. Well. There you go. That's probably better. All right, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I can take it down to like 100. Stamina regen is the only thing that's hitting now, or close now. But like the regen ones, and that says, yeah. So the regen ones I could take down to like RGN. I think it'd be fine. So let's do that. Cool. Copy those. Move this one to 100 as well. And then populate that in my regen. Perfect. Let's take a look. All right. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I'm clipping out on which ones. The damage ones. Let's go see what the... Let's look at what these sizes are. 100, 30, 30, 30. 100, 30, 30, 30. 106. Okay. What about for this next one? 117. Okay, 120 might be my limit. Which is fine. 120 is pretty good. As far as sizes go, I'm happy with 120. And then I'll just make sure that the container doesn't poke over the edge of that. Okay. That's good. I do want to see... Okay, so one thing that was going on that was kind of weird. This panel wasn't expanding. Which one was that? That was this panel? No, it was on this side. It's character viewer panel here. But it is on fill. Okay. Make sure clip contents is off everywhere. Shrink center. What is this part? Okay, so this is, yeah, this should be shrink center. But at this point, it should have already filled, so it should be okay. All right, let's see what happens. Oop. All right, let's see. Okay. That looks pretty good. It's not... I need to fill that edge just out to the edge of the other one. I'm not sure, again, I'm not really sure why they're not even. Because I should be expanding the whole container. Like the left side. The left side obviously expands the whole container. But that is okay. It looks pretty good, pretty decent. Cool. All right, that worked pretty well. Sweet. So I'm gonna go run through a battle real quick. Let's see. I'm gonna be way overpowered for sure. That's all right. I've got a dagger. I didn't even notice that I had grabbed a dagger. That's okay. It looks like it's giving me some extra movement speed, and I don't think I need much strength. Ooh, okay. Oh, it doesn't have a lot of hits. Interesting. Oh, I got destroyed. Okay. It's all right. Okay. Very good. Let me find my phone real quick. All right. Oops. Very good. So I think now I have a little bit of cleanup to do left. I need to get that side even here. And then once I get that side even, I'll probably start working on some of the enemy AI. Oops, sorry for the echo here. All right, so let's see why this isn't expanding here. I might just need to make the size a little bigger here. My anchor offsets are a little weird. I wonder if I just take this anchor offset to the middle, if that would allow it to expand enough. See, they should be all in line with each other. When you make one bigger, it should make the other bigger. I wonder if I can simulate it by... Okay, so it would only be in this character viewer. Well, these would need to be on expand, which they are. So this panel container, the big thing is this panel container expands to match the edge. Like if I make this 1000, or not this. See, it pulls both of them over, which is exactly what's going on. So I'm not sure why in game it's not doing that. Let's see. Grow direction compared to this one. Yeah, I mean, it's opposite, but it should be. Maybe just this. What if I just change my anchor? I probably need to go on a deep dive of exactly how this all works. Okay, cool. That looks like that works. So it probably went to the anchor and then stopped. So all right. Okay, that looks pretty good then. I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. Cool. All right. Cool. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, sorry for the delay here, I'm getting tired. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm pretty tired. That looks pretty good. But yeah, I'm exhausted, so thanks for stopping in, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and raid Orbum since I'm over on his channel anyway already. And I will catch everybody soon on the next stream. Have a good night, everyone.